Hi everyone, welcome. Mike here for functional training. Hope everyone's doing well. And we're going to get moving and in different directions throughout this workout. You're going to need a couple of hand weights and just some space around you, and that's all we're going to need. So let's get started. Standing up, we're going to be doing our 180-degree pivot lunge with a reach. So that's a nice dynamic stretch. We're going to involve a lot of balance and coordination and mobility. So taking a step forward in that lunge position, and you're going to dip down a little bit. So if your left leg is in front, take your right hand and just slightly reach across your body, like so, as you lower down, and then release, returning back to the beginning position, and then pivot your feet so that you turn 180 degrees facing the opposite direction, going down on the other leg and reaching with the other arm. So pivot, down. It's a lot easier for me on this hardwood that I'm using today in our fitness studio. To pivot the feet right there on carpet, you can, the friction makes it a bit more difficult, but see what you can do. We'll do 3 more, so down and reach, nice and slow. Down and reach. And down and reach. Good, back to the middle position. And we're just gonna do a couple rounds of our 3-point lunge. So what we're gonna be doing, taking a step forward, lowering down to that regular lunge, pushing back to the starting position. Now taking a lateral step and then lunging here, return, and now reverse lunge behind. And then again, 1, back, 2, back, 3. Ready, 1, touch, 2, touch, 3. Other side. Here we go. So forward, stepping back, lateral, back, reverse. And 3 more, here we go. 1, touch, 2, touch, 3. 2 more. Last one. 1, 2, 3 for the reverse. And finish. Okay, move around for a couple seconds here. We're going to be heading to the floor to do another warm-up exercise. I'm going to grab myself a mat, or if you have a nice carpeted room, it's a bit more comfortable. And I'm going to lie down here, and we're going to be sitting down in this position for the glute bridge. So feet are flat on the floor, lying down all the way. Rest your head, neck, and shoulders on the floor. Dig your heels into the floor. Push down, lift your butt off the ground. Keep your hands flat on the floor. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. And now really contract those glute muscles the whole time. And I'm holding it. It's a few inches off the ground here. I'm contracting the glutes. Really engage them here. Now I'm going to lift 1 foot off the floor. So it's just the right side doing all the work here. I'm holding. Now I'm going to get you to drop down and touch the floor and lift up again. Holding for 3, 2, 1, and drop. Again, 3, 2, 1, and drop. Let's do a couple more of these single-legged lifts. 2, 3, and down. 1, 2, 3, and down. Other foot, so left foot presses down. Ready, and lift. 2, 3, and down. Let's keep this going. Lift. Squeeze. 2, 3, down. 2 more. Up. 3, and down. 1 more. Press. Squeeze those glutes. 2, 3, and drop. Great. Now we're going to slowly sit up. Grab your legs. And you're going to kind of rock back and forth and swing yourself up. Back to this position. Just take a couple seconds before you stand up. Don't want to get too dizzy here. Okay, up to a squat. And then all the way up. Work your way back up, not too quickly. Okay, let's take a quick drink of water. And then we're going to need a hand weight. So go ahead and grab, actually we'll need 2. We'll need 2 weights. Okay, so I'm going to find myself 2 hand weights. Okay, perfect. So what we're going to do now, because we've warmed up everything, and we always want to incorporate different muscles in each exercise. So you're never isolating one small muscle group. You're working many different ones at the same time, compound exercises, multi-joint. So for this one, we're going to be doing that, but also the balance, right? Because we're doing functional training. We involve different components of fitness and doing exercise, balance, coordination, things like that, strength and endurance. So grab both weights. We're going to do a one-legged bent over row. So you need the strength of the lower body and the balance to be able to be in this position. So you're going to kick out the back leg, holding yourself up, so like so, and you're going to perform a bent over shoulder upper body row. So it's pulling up and down, up and down, just like that. We'll go two more, 1 and 2, and we're going to switch legs. So now the other leg is kicking back, and let's go 1, 2, 3, 2 more, 4 and 5. Bring that other foot in, extend up and relax. Squat down to set the weights down. Let's take 30-second break here. So the first set's always a bit more challenging because you got to really adapt to that position for the balance, and it's something that you get better at, but it's always challenging. It's never easy. Okay. Okay, now for the second set, we'll grab those same weights, so squat down to grab them. And what we're going to do is add 2 more movements to make it more complex. So you're going to go down into the single leg. You're going to do this, the row, and then you're going to bring the foot back. And then you're going to take a step behind you and curl. You're doing a reverse lunge and bicep curl. And then you're going to alternate. So now it's the other foot, down, row, step, lunge, curl. Lots happening here. Here we go again. Other foot, ready, down, one leg, bent over row, pull it back, switch to the second part, curl, and reverse lunge. Here we go, keep it going. Other foot, row, return, lunge, curl, row, curl. One more, step, curl, and done. Okay, that was a tough one. Set those weights down. Active recovery, so stay moving. Try not to sit still. Okay, so no weights for this one. Now we have an explosive exercise that focuses a lot on power, but also balance, specifically dynamic balance and deceleration. So the most overlooked component, one of the most overlooked in all performance exercising is deceleration. So momentum is something that can be easy, for example, going downhill. The momentum is taking you, your legs are moving, and the force that's required isn't resulting in you having to manually contract your legs for every fast pedal down the hill. So the momentum is what's in favor. But the opposite, the deceleration, if you were to actually go slow down the hill, your muscles are working much, much harder to absorb basically the force, the gravity, from preventing you from tumbling down the hill. So same thing when you land from a jump, landing slowly and really using the tendons and muscles to absorb that, it takes a lot of strength in that eccentric loading. So same thing when we do our skater stride, which is what we're going to do next. Obviously, it takes power to explode out of that position, but the landing, that's balance for sure, dynamic balance. Then also the deceleration, an explosive movement to slowing down. really helps improve your dynamic balance and power. Okay, so really focusing on the slow land rather than the actual jump itself. Okay, so here we go. We'll do a bunch of these. Try to land as slow as possible. It's going to be a challenge because the balance is quite difficult. Here we go. Side stride, land, touch the floor for balance. Again, jump, touch. A little slower than that. Should be about 2 seconds. 1, 2. We'll go 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Land and recover. Awesome. Okay, active recovery. 30-second break in the water. Try to stay moving. Okay, and we're going to need 1 hand weight. So you can use the same weight, but we only need 1. Okay, so now we've done our power, our mobility, our dynamic balance. And what we're going to be doing now is our torso rotation. So that power in that different direction of movement, instead of just up and down or left or right, you're now incorporating a rotation from a different plane of movement. And it really helps with the mobility of the trunk and the hips and the power from the core muscles. So grabbing the hand weight, we're going to do our wood shop variation. This one, we've done a couple different ones in weeks 1 and 2 of this functional training class. This one, however, you're going to go down, do the wood shop reverse lunge. And as you come up, instead of standing all the way up tall and fully extended, you're going to stay in a low position. Like this. So the finishing movement is basically the weight is at your shoulder height and you're in a squat position. Okay, from the other side, down, rotate, down, rotate. So you're constantly in a low athletic stance. Okay, so let's do 12. Here we go. Alternating sides and go. 1, 2, 8, 10, 11, 12, and done. Okay, let's put that weight away. Good, another 30-second active recovery. Try to not sit down. Okay, we are going to start to head down to the floor now. And as always, we want that to be a slow transition. So go from a kneeling, half kneeling position, like so. Wait a couple seconds, take some deep breaths. Control your breathing before you go all the way down to a lying down position, and you'll get quite dizzy when the blood is not really circulating as it should. And then both knees, and then sitting on your heels right here. Okay, 2 deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth, and go. Okay, great. So while we're on the floor, we're going to do an upper body core exercise. So we're going to do a Spiderman mountain climbers. So basically the only difference between the traditional mountain climbers, which has you running in and out with your feet, is you're not using momentum. So there's a lot of momentum involved there with the swinging of the knee and extending the leg in and out, in and out. So your hip flexors are the primary mover when you're doing that. That's not the target. The target is the core, but also stabilizing in that plank push-up position. So we want to minimize the momentum and increase the quality of that movement. So the Spiderman is just a little variation, slower, more range of motion. Okay, so push-up position, bringing your foot as close to your hand as possible, or touching the knee to the elbow is a good guide as to how far in you're going, and then alternate. So here, back, maintaining that nice push-up position, and here we go. Let's go 6 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Stay in this seated position. Couple deep breaths. And then we're going to go sitting down carefully here. Good. Now we're in this position. Okay, another core exercise. So we're going to do 2. We're going to do the Russian twists, followed by basically figure 8s with your feet. I'll show you quickly here. So Russian twists, sitting down in the V position, hands behind you, just supporting the beginning movement, lifting your feet off the ground, holding your hands by your chest. If you'd like to make it more difficult, you can hold the weight that you have with you, which I'll do here. And you're going to rotate, touch the floor, and rotate to the other side, touch the floor, or just with your fingers. So keep that going. Don't go too fast. So 1, 2, 3, 4, just like that speed. Keep it going. Keep those feet off the ground. 5, 4, 3, 2, and done. Drop that weight down if you had one. And for the figure 8s, hands behind you, same sort of position, lifting your feet off the ground, extend them out slightly, and draw a figure 8 with your feet. Oh, there we go. Direction. 2, and 1. Okay, relax in this position. Move that weight away. And we're going to do some stretches while you're on the floor. We do our pigeon pose. So one leg is in front and one leg extended behind, which will look like this. And you're having your body over top of the front leg. My glutes, the side of my thigh is also touching the floor. If you want more intense stretch, lift it off the floor. You're right over top of that front leg. You'll feel a bit more of a pull. If it's too much, press your weight back down. Another way to increase it without doing that first option is extend your back leg as far as you can to get more of that hip flexor. Okay, other side. So now the right leg is in front of me. Extend the weight leg behind. I'm starting in this position, which is slightly easier. I'm going to try the other one, right over top. Now I'm higher and lift it off the ground. More of a pull on the glutes there. Setting it down. Extend that back leg. Okay. 4-point position. So hands underneath your shoulders. And cat-cow stretch. So arc the back as high as you can. Engage the core a bit. And then sink down and look straight ahead. Arc the back. And sink. And done. Okay. And we're going to do our hip flexor stretch. So sitting up and then half kneeling, so 90-degree angles with the legs. And you're going to reach forward, or lean forward rather, And then opposite arm reaches across the body like we did at the beginning. So dynamic stretch, just a slight reach. We'll get a bit more of a pull on that left side of the hip flexor. Bring it back to the middle, go down a little bit lower. And push back. Switch sides. Okay, leaning forward, opposite arm reaches, hold. Back to the middle, lean forward more. And back. Kneeling, sitting on the heels, reaching forward into the child's pose stretch, head down. Leaning back, take a deep breath in. Exhale. One more breath. And out. Okay, and that is everything. So thank you very much for doing our functional training workout today. I hope you had a good exercise bout there. And we'll see you again and hopefully see you in person in the near future. Thanks again. Be well.